It is Wednesday, April 17th, 2019, 1:34 p.m. Today I've got a kind of a big topic to talk about, and just for being one topic, this is probably going to be a longer video. But let's get into it. So on Saturday, I went to Starbucks with Taylor. She came down, or she was in the area, and we went to get Starbucks for a bit, and we talked about a lot. It was a little, I don't know, awkward, but overall it's fine. We talked about a lot of stuff, but one of the things she had mentioned to me was one day when we had broken up, she was over at the house, and mom had told her a story about this guy that she used to date before she met dad. And she was telling Taylor that when, like, she didn't know love like she knew love with this guy, and she thought she was going to marry this dude and they were going to live together and they were going to get married and stuff, but for whatever reason it ended up not happening. And she was saying how she still sometimes thought about that, like how different her life could have been if things worked out with them. And I didn't really think much of it at the time. But when I got home and like all Sunday, literally I could not stop thinking about it. That story like really got me thinking. And the thing that got me thinking is mom happy? Is anyone in my family happy? And I started thinking about, and I don't know, I started thinking about it a lot. And so Monday, I was like, you know what, I need to know. So I went upstairs and I asked mom two questions. Firstly, I asked, Mom, are you happy? And she said, yeah, why wouldn't I be? And before I continue going up there, I expect her to be like, yeah, I'm happy. And the next question was, if you went back in time to when you were 16 years old and you saw your life right now, would you still be happy? And I was expecting her for both questions, like, yeah, no, I'm fine, everything's cool. Like, I don't know, that's what I was expecting. But for the second question, she said no. And I was like, oh, okay, interesting. And then we proceeded to have an hour and a half long conversation that had a lot of stories. And essentially, I took a lot of things away from that session. And basically, she said that when she was 16, the life she had dreamed for herself was she wanted a big family. She wanted to have 5 kids because she grew up in a big family, and she loved the idea of, you know, Christmases, everyone putting up the tree together, and, you know, everyone just goofing off together, and just having a big family. She really liked that idea. She wanted to have a husband that, you know, they traveled the world together, they rode bikes together, they were just in love and stuff. And yeah, those are the big ones, I guess. But and she kind of just told stories about how, like, her life wasn't that. And I mean, I've heard a lot of these stories, and I kind of, you know, always figured, I mean, I guess never thought about it, but I always figured, like, she probably didn't have the greatest life just because of what dad put her through, and same with Matt, but mostly dad. And she was just kind of talking about all the stuff that she went through, and how she said that the single, if she could go back in time, basically she said that if she could go back in time with her brain, back in time to when she was 16 with the brain she has now, the only thing she would be happy with, the only thing she would keep is us. And I believe her. I don't think she regrets having us at all. But she said that if I could change, like, one decision, if there was one decision I could go back and change, it would be coming to Canada. And she said that that was the worst decision she ever made. And that she, like, there's nothing, she said that she doesn't care about the cars, the house, the job, like, anything in this house. Like, she doesn't care about any of this stuff in Canada. Like, Canada isn't her home. She doesn't care about Canada. And she wishes she had stayed in Poland. Because she had all her friends, all her family. She missed, you know, she misses having, you know, on holidays, she would have liked to have gone and hung out with, you know, her family or her friends and seen these people and grown up with them. And she said that there were so many opportunities for her in Poland in terms of money. She said that money would have never been an issue for us growing up. We would have been essentially rich. And yeah, she just talked about stuff like that, how, you know, but when she came here, she didn't really know English, and dad was kind of, you know, drinking a lot, so he was never really around, and she tried raising Matt, but it was hard because, like, it was just a lot of things happening, right, to go with alcoholism, and it was just hard to listen to, and it was hard accepting that, like, I know that we have our differences, and we fight sometimes, and my mom can be really annoying to me sometimes, but I know she loves me, and she might show it in the weirdest ways sometimes, but I know she loves me, and I love her a lot too, and it just broke my heart to know that this person I love so much I don't know. She said she's happy, but I think that like the way I thought about it was that she had this life planned for herself, and that was like peak happiness. And I don't think it's uncommon for people to not realize that dream and live that dream, or live, or only live half of that dream, whatever. But like I feel like for her, literally nothing went right. The husband she wanted, she got none of that. The family she wanted, she got none of that. Like, she doesn't even live in a place where she feels like she's home. And it just made me sad, because it was like I was saying, like, I don't really have an explanation. It just made me sad, like really sad to know that my mom's life isn't what she wanted. And I have no doubts that, like I said, I don't. My sadness has nothing to do with like, oh, if I wasn't born, or if Matt wasn't born, she would have been happier. I don't think that at all. I don't want that to be coming across in any way. I'm 100% confident she loves us, and if she could do things differently, she would do everything she could to make sure she wouldn't do decisions that would erase us, essentially. I'm confident with that. But I was just thinking about that, and she kind of just really laid some lessons on me, like, think over stuff 100,000 times. Think about all possibilities before you make a decision. Because she was saying that, when I was moving to Canada, when it was time for me to move, like, I had all these signs telling me not to. Like, her dad was crying. She had never seen him cry like that before. He was begging her to stay, and she was like, no, it's fine, I'll go. I know what I'm doing. I know more than, people are telling me not to go. I know more than them. I'm gonna go. And she came here, and she had a really rough time, and her dad was like, dude, I will buy you a ticket right now to come back to Poland. Like, it just tell me the words, and I'll buy that. You can come back tomorrow. And she's like, no, it's fine. It'll work out. And she's like, I should have listened to anyone, because I thought I knew better, and here I am regretting that decision. And it just really put a lot of things to perspective to me, and I talked about it before, how perspective is very important for me. So, like I said, we had an hour and a half long conversation where she kind of went over a lot of different stories, and some of the stuff I've talked about now are just the key things that really stuck out to me. And from actually those stories, the idea, I don't know, I guess my opinion towards my dad has always been kind of neutral or positive. And I think it still is that, but I definitely see him in a little bit more of a negative light, just because of, like, I've heard some of these stories, but just to see that, 30 plus years later, my mom still got emotional talking about this stuff. And here's some of the other stories that I haven't heard before. It was just like, wow, like, with being blunt, like, in essence, he's the reason her life sucks, or her life, I don't know if I'd say it sucks, but he's the reason that, like, he ruined her life, essentially. And so it's hard not to be like, you're kind of an asshole for doing that. But it's not my place to forgive him for what he did to my mom or to Matt. All I know is the dad that I've had since I was born, and I've forgiven him for the stuff that he put me through, and I can't forgive him for the stuff he did to Mom, like, back before I was born. Like, that's not my place. I can't do that, and I don't really have a connection to that besides the stories from my mom, and they do suck, but it's like, I can't do anything about that. So I see him more in a negative light. However, I still am, like, neutral positive about my emotions towards him. So yeah, so we talked, and afterwards I gave her a long hug, and I let her know that I loved her. And lately I've been feeling, like, really emotional again, so I knew that I needed a good cry, and this is the one that set me off. There was some stuff before that I was like, I could probably cry right now, but I was like, no, I don't know. I think I'm gonna leave this one in. And I got downstairs, and I needed to talk to someone about it, so I started messaging Carla about the conversation we had. And, like, as I'm typing this, I just started bawling. I must have cried for a good 20 minutes. I missed pretty much the entire first period of a Leafs game crying. And still at night, like, I can't. It's one of those things where it's like the iTunes thing with my mom. Like, I still feel that same emotion that I felt 3 years ago today, and I still, like, it hurts me that happened to her. So I feel like this is gonna be something that's gonna hurt me for the rest of my life, or for the foreseeable future. So, like, a couple nights ago, or like yesterday I was trying to fall asleep, and like, I still kind of had that lump in my throat thinking about stuff. So, and I've still been thinking about this a lot. And And I think it's a good thing, and I guess I'll go into that and why shortly. But yeah, I came down and I cried a whole bunch, and yeah, and that's what happened there. And then I asked the same question to Dad yesterday, same questions, and he said yes, he's happy, and that no, he wouldn't change anything, and that maybe he would change his attitude here and there, but he doesn't really think about he's not someone who thinks about the past and the ways he could have changed it. He kind of thinks forward. And I won't lie, there was a part of me that would have liked to have heard him say, like, I really made some mistakes, like, as a younger guy, especially with your mom. I probably would have not done some of that stuff. It would have been nice to hear him say that, but I can't, like, if he doesn't think that, I can't make him think that. And maybe he does think that. Maybe he didn't have enough time to think. Maybe I did kind of just spring it on him out of the blue. Maybe he does think about it from time to time. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. I like to think that my dad is a decent enough person that even if he doesn't talk about it, even if he doesn't say anything when I ask him, I think that he knows that he messed up. And maybe he doesn't know the full extent of it. Maybe he never will. Maybe he refuses to accept, responsibility for the extent of which he messed up. But I think he's smart enough to know that he, in some capacity, really messed up. And I think that's evident by the fact that he has he's tried in his own ways to be a better dad when he stopped drinking. And because of those reasons, that's why I think that he's smart enough to recognize, like, I done goofed. So, like I said, it would have been nice to have heard him say that, but deep down, I think he knows, and he might just not want to say anything, or he might not. Again, sprung it on the blue. Who knows? But and then I asked Matt also yesterday. Matt said he's happy, and then he thought about it for a few seconds. And he said, yeah, when he thought in terms of going back in time, if he'd be happy with his life. And I asked him why he said it like that, and he said, well, I had to think about it, and I just kind of thought about it, and I mean, yeah, I'd be like where I'm at in life, and the relationship I have, and who I am. I think I'd be happy with that. So that was cool. But basically, more so after the conversation with my mom, like, that was the big one that really got me thinking, and it put a lot of things into perspective. Like I said, I realized that I put so much time into trying to, like, I've talked about it before. I think maybe I've talked about this before. How I've never experienced death. Like, no one I know has ever died. So that's something that I'm constantly worried about. And 3 years ago, I started every single day around 7 to 9 p.m. going upstairs, giving my mom and dad a hug and a kiss, telling them I love them, because I hated the idea of one day waking up when they were gone and being like, fuck, I never told them that I love them enough. I don't know if they know that I love them. And now I know for sure. Like, I tell them every single day, pretty much. Maybe a couple days here and there throughout the year that I miss. But I know for a fact that I am never going to wake up. Ever going to wake up and be like, man, I didn't say I love you enough. I mean, there's going to be time. I think there's definitely going to be time where I'm like, man, I wish I could say I love you one more time. But I'm never, ever going to doubt the fact that if I said it enough times, if they knew that I love them, I'm never going to be like, oh, fuck, I didn't hug or kiss them enough. Like, I've done that a lot, and I'm so happy that I do that. I'm still happy that I do that. And even though it's routine now, I'm happy that it's routine, because it's something where it's like, saying I love you being routine isn't a bad thing, I think. It's just that you've said it so often that it's like, it should be routine, if that makes sense. It's like, it shouldn't be like, oh, he said I love you. Wow, I haven't heard that in a while. Like, it should be like, yeah, he loved me. He said it yesterday, and the day before that, the day before that, the day before that, the day before that, the day before that. Like, I like that it's routine. But then I started thinking, like, okay, cool. But what if I wake up one day and I miss mom or dad, and I want to think back about memories? What memories do I have? And I don't have many. And I started thinking about that. Like, mom has asked me so many times to help her with, Christmas dinner, for example. And I'd be like, no, I don't want to. I'm gonna stay down here. I'm gonna play some games, because I don't want to do that. That seems boring to me. And I was like, that's selfish. That's selfish and dumb. Because my mom, she said, she was talking to me, she said all she wanted was to spend time with her family, like, in her dream world, in her dream life. She wanted to make memories on the holidays, and I deprived her of that for 26 years almost. And I deprived myself of that for 26 years. Like, those are memories from making dinners and holidays or just whatever in general. Like those are just like the big examples. Those are so many memories that I'm never going to have, that I can't think back upon. Like, remember that one time, that one holiday where mom said this funny thing and that happened, or we did this and it was really nice. I don't have that. And I was like, Dad, that fucking sucks. Like, I don't like that. I don't like that I don't have these memories, and I don't like that, like, it's something so simple that would have made both my mom happy, and it would have made me happier. Like, I might not like making dinner for Christmas or whatever, but it's the idea of spending time with my mom, like that bonding that I should be appreciative of. So I started thinking, okay, I mean, Easter's this weekend. There's, holiday number one. I'd like to help her do whatever she's going to be doing. And already I can feel it. I'm like, it's a long weekend. I kind of want to keep playing Borderlands. And I'm like, no, dude, like, spend, even if you're only there, even if she's there for 3 hours and you're there for an hour and a half of that time, that's an hour and a half of memories that you have. And even if it's nothing significant, there may or may not be a day when mom isn't here anymore, and you think back, like, remember that first Easter that I helped her? I don't remember much about it, but like, that was fun. Like, that was the beginning of a lot of memories, ideally. So I'm gonna start doing that. She talked about how she wanted a husband that she could ride bikes with. I'm probably not gonna go out and ride a bike, but she likes to go on walks. Maybe I'll go on some walks with her. Maybe, I'll help her with gardening. I want to make these memories. I want to spend time with her, because now I know that is what she's always wanted, and she never got it because I never thought about her. I was always about myself. I was always very selfish about myself, thinking about what do I want? What don't I want? Never really thought about it from her point of view, and how, this was, I don't know, it's just the life that she wanted and she never got. So I'd like to help. I can't change the past. I can't change the last 26 years of me being like, no, thank you. But I can make new memories, and hopefully I have many, many, many more years to make memories. And I think that in doing that, like I said, it's going to help me, because I like to get to a point where one day, I have so many memories to look back on, and it's like, oh my God, like, there's no way I'm going to forget this person when they're gone. And for my mom, it'd be nice to be like, yo, like, maybe the first 60 years weren't that great, or the, however many years you were here weren't that great, but I want to make sure that the rest of your life is better. I want to get to a point where, so one of the things, it made me so happy yesterday. I was on Ticketmaster because I was like, I want to spend some time, but I want to like do something. Like, I want to go out and do something. So I was on Ticketmaster looking for stuff to do, and I found next month there's a Cirque du Soleil thing nearby. And so I was like, oh, I know my mom loves Cirque du Soleil, so I'm going to ask if she wants to go. Still plenty of tickets left. They're not that expensive. I'm going to see. So I went upstairs and I asked her, like, hey, do you want to go to Cirque du Soleil next month? And her face lit the fuck up. Like, she became so happy at the idea, because she's gone to Cirque du Soleil once or twice. And I know she's asked me if I wanted to go. She's asked me to go to a couple things, and I always said no. And to be honest, I think it would be cool, but I'm not super intrigued about going to Cirque du Soleil. Like, if this was me from, a week ago, I would be like, no, I don't want to go. But I know my mom loves Cirque du Soleil. And spending time with her and doing something that she adores, like, that cost me nothing. That's a free memory right there. That's something that I know for a fact one day I'm like, oh, fuck, remember that Cirque du Soleil show? Maybe I'll love it. Maybe I'm not going to love it. But either way, I'm like, man, mom was so happy when I asked her if she wanted to go. And like, she was just excited. She was like a kid, and knowing that Christmas is a week away, like, oh my God, what day? Like, when are we going to go? And she was just so happy. So happy. And she came down here and she's like, is Matt coming in? And I was like, yeah, I asked him, and Matt said he's going to come. And I was like, yeah, he's coming. It's going to be 3 of us. We're going to go. It's going to be you, me, Matt. And she was so happy. And she said, she was standing right here. And she said, this is all I've ever wanted, is to just be with you guys. And I was like, fuck, dude. Like, it hit me. Like, I was like, man, that sucks. I don't know. So, but I've made this kind of commitment, and this, I've had this kind of change of mind or whatever, where I'm like, this needs to happen. This isn't something that is an option. Like, this is, I need to do this for not like, if in a selfish way myself, in a morbid way myself, but in just like, I need to do this for my mom because she's done so much for me to make my life good. And I think that of me, my brother, and my dad, I think that I'm probably the one that's caused her the least amount of stress. But I still caused her stress. I still made her life not good sometimes. And I know that just in general, her life isn't what she wanted. And so I want to, like I said, I want to make, I want her to be like, the first X amount of years weren't really what I wanted. And maybe the last X amount of years weren't what I wanted either. But they were so much better because I got to do some of the things that I wanted to. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing that a little bit more. I'm gonna be a little more conscious of my mom's life and existence in general. Like, ever since I stopped taking melatonin, like I said, I've been a little bit more, myself and feeling happier and stuff. But like, I had this calm wash over me yesterday where I was like, dude, like, I've been treating my mom like shit, and for no reason. It's like, what if she thinks about that when she goes to bed? Like, all I want is my kids to love me, and this Mike he's always angry, it seems. And I was like, fuck, like that sucks. I was thinking about how a couple of weeks ago, maybe even a month ago, we were going to a neighboring state. It was like a 20-minute drive or something to go pick up something for Kijiji. And I was just in such a bad mood because she didn't know how to get there, and I didn't want to go there. And I was like, fuck, whatever, I'll drive you. And there was just tension. And she was, her calm self during the ride, trying to make conversation. And I was just like, yeah, whatever, fuck it, whatever. We got to the place. We got, it was like a painting or whatever. And it ended up being too big. We couldn't fit it in my car. And I threw like a silent fit. Like, I was pissed off. Because I was like, oh, now we have to fucking drive all the way back, or drive home, then drive all the way back with your car, even though I told you, let's go with your car. But she's like, no, my car's whatever, and let's take your car. I want you to drive. I was like, let's take your car. She's like, no. But now we have to go all day. If you just listened to me, it would have been fine. And like, she started tearing up. She's like, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't know. Like, and she could tell, like, she was hurt. Like, she felt bad. And like, I remember thinking, like, I remember being in that moment and being like, you're probably overreacting right now. But there's a part of me, and I hate admitting it, but it was like a part of me that's like, good. Like, she should feel bad. She shouldn't listen to me. Like, this is so stupid. Like, why couldn't she just figure out how to get here? And thinking back, I was like, that's such an asshole thing to think and to say. Like, maybe driving down there to pick up that painting, maybe, it's not the most exciting thing. I don't want to do that, especially on the weekend. Like, I don't think that, being, I don't think being, displeased at having to do that is bad, but I think I should have really taken that moment to be like, okay, well, I mean, I don't like doing this, but this is 20, 40, 60 minutes where I'm just in the car with my mom, chilling. It's quality time. And I regret not taking advantage of that, because that was just a free memory that I just kind of threw away. And now it's just a bad memory. So yeah, so I'm just going to pay more attention to that. So, and there's another, like, a figure skating thing happening in November that I'm going to see if she wants to go to, but tickets don't go on sale till May, so I want to see what the prices are first. And that's what initially I was going to go ask her about, but I was like, that's so far away. I want to do something, like, closer, like, something, like, we can do soon. So, yeah, and, the side thing is that, when she was talking, I realized that for however many years it's been now, I always... I thought for the longest time recently that, we were finally a happy family. I remember growing up thinking, man, I just want a family that's normal, and I want a happy family. And hearing my mom talk, I realized that, before I go into that, like, when Dad stopped drinking, when Matt stopped drinking, everything kind of started coming together, and Mom and Dad were, talking, and they weren't arguing, and they were, just, everything seemed fine. Everything seemed normal. And I remember for a long time, I thought, finally, I have this normal family. This loving family, and everything is how it should be, how I always wanted it to be. And hearing my mom talk, I realized that that's not true at all. It was never true. That ideal family that I've always wanted, I never, ever was going to get. Before I was even born, it was destined to never happen. While I thought it was happening, it was just an illusion. It was just a Band-Aid. It was something that was going to deteriorate and fall apart, inevitably. It was never, ever what I thought it was. And I'm definitely sad, but there's a weird kind of acceptance that I have knowing that. It's just like, I mean, it makes sense. It was always staring me in the face that this was never going to happen. Like given all the even before I had this conversation, like if I really thought about it, maybe I was just too naive, and maybe I was just too happy thinking, or maybe I wanted things to work out the way they were working out, and I just didn't think about it. But I was like, this was never supposed to work. We're never going to be that happy family that I thought we were going to be. And like I said, it's just this weird calmness where this idea, this dream that I've had, I guess, for my family since I was a kid, died. It died on Monday. I don't know. I just realized that we were never really a family. I don't know. It was always separated. There was always tension. There was always history. So, yeah, I mean, I'm definitely sad about it, but I don't know. Like I said, it's still like this. Thinking about it, I was like, I feel like I should be more upset about that because it's something that I've wanted for so long. Something I was so happy. Like, I remember this past Christmas, I was talking about how I'm so happy that we finally have a good family. And now it's kind of ripped out from under me, and I realized that it never really was there. And I'm just kind of like, that sucks, but I don't know, maybe because it makes so much sense that I'm accepting it. I don't know. But, yeah, so that's the thing. And then with Dad, I also, like, I'm not just doing this with Mom. Like, I'm doing this with Dad and Matt, too. Because with Dad, I want to do the same things. Like, I want to make memories with him, right? I want to figure out stuff to do with him. That's why I'm kind of bummed out that the Ozzy concert was postponed, because it would have been nice to go do that. But, like, I'm driving him to, he's going to Poland in the summer, and I'm thinking about, what was that noise? I'm thinking about how, like, that's an opportunity to spend time with him, right? Instead of just being like, ugh, I have to drive an hour to take him to the airport. So, yeah, I'm thinking, like, maybe, like, once a month, maybe ask my parents if they want to go for a movie, like, individually, because I think it's apparent that they're not going to be working out their stuff. So, thinking about how maybe once a month, or go to the movies, like, go get some dinner, maybe catch a movie, or do something, like, once a month, I alternate which one I go with every other month. But yeah, then with Matt, like, I had that conversation yesterday, and this was a little bit more in depth with, like, more in depth like it was with my mom, where I was like, I feel like I've neglected our relationship. Like, I feel like we have a good relationship, but it could be great. It could be a lot better. The ceiling is a lot higher. I feel like we don't talk enough. I don't like that I'm on Discord 2 or 3 times a day hanging out with my friends. Or 2 or 3 times a week, rather, hanging out with my friends. And when I get off every night, I tell them I love them. And, that week, regularly, in those conversations, I talk to my friends more than I talk to you, and I tell them I love them more than I tell you I love you. And the same thing where, like, we don't, like, I want memories. Like, I think we're gonna be a little bit more closer together ideally closer together in terms of when we die. But, like, even still, like, it'd be nice to, in 10 years we're both still around, like, oh man, remember this one time we did this one thing? That's funny. Have that memory. So with Matt too. Especially with Matt, because I feel like this is something that is especially important with him because it's something he's asked me for, like, explicitly asked me for, like, hey, let's talk more. So I like to do that. So I told him, every day you're gonna hear me. You're gonna, whether it's text, phone, in person, I'm gonna tell you I love you. But also at least every other day I'm gonna text you like, yo, what's up, dude? Let's have a conversation. Let's talk. And I asked him, I was like, I don't know if you think about it, but just think about the fact that Mom and Dad aren't gonna be here one day, and it's important to make memories, because it's going to suck if one day you wake up and they're not here, and now you want to start making memories. He's like, yeah, no, I thought about it. He has a different, path to all this and story and history with them. So his whole thing is different than mine. I'm not expecting him to, do everything I'm doing right now. I just wanted to shine that light in case he hadn't thought about it. Because, I think it's important to remind people that, everyone's time here is finite. And it's important that you spend that time doing the things that you want to do, and doing things so that when these people are gone, you don't have regrets. Like, I wish I had done this or said that, or hadn't done this or hadn't said that. It's just really important to me right now to be doing that, because it's something that I've been thinking about for a long time. I mean, just in general, just thinking about how, like, death in general, like I said, and how, like, every once in a while I think about, how I want to spend more time with mom, but it's like I don't know what I would do. Like I don't really necessarily like doing the things she wants me to do. And I was like, Monday was just like a breakthrough. It was just like a breakthrough of all the stuff that I had kind of trapped in my head. Like just let that selfishness just slide away. And it was nice to kind of come to that realization on my own while I still have time. So yeah, this is I guess day 2 from all this. And it's funny how just literally a quick side note from Taylor. It was like a 30-second conversation. Really, essentially changed the rest of my life. It's crazy how she's still having an impact on me that way. So yeah, I'm gonna. And the last couple of days I've been a little, bummed out. I guess just knowing. I guess the conversation with mom about this really still bums me out. But I think, ideally, moving forward, the change that I'm putting out now is going to make it so that I feel less bad, and I feel good, and I feel happy, and everyone's happier. The idea of I still can't it's my mom's face yesterday, like the sheer jubilation, is that the right word? The sheer joy, happiness, just excitement, just childish excitement she had yesterday from a simple, hey, do you want to go to the circus? Like I want that every day. I want that as often as I can. I want it to be like it is with I Love Yous, where it's just something we do. Right? I want it to be where I ask her to do something and she's like, dude, yeah, let's do that. And I'm really happy that you asked. I'm happy to go with you and stuff, but I'm more looking forward to the thing than the fact that you're there with me. Like I want me to be an addition to something that she's really excited about, not her being excited about me being there and then that also another thing. So yeah. I think there's definitely a bigger focus on my mom just because she did say, she's not happy, and she really kind of listed off a lot of reasons. Again, she didn't say she's not happy. She said she wouldn't be happy with the life that she has now. And I think there's a bigger focus on that just because it was just literally like a punch in the gut. It sucked. It still sucks. I think it's going to suck for a while knowing that. But like I said, I can't change the past. I can't make up for 26 years of memories and the life that she could have had. But I can try to make the next 26, 27 plus years better. Filled with whatever she had in mind. Closer to what she planned. She just wanted, if nothing else, she could probably do without the husband, but at the very least, she just wanted to have that family. Her kids, memories of their kids. And she never got that. So yeah, that's in summary, that's it. And just another side note, I guess. I was also thinking like in terms of going out and stuff. Like it'd be nice because it's like I think about the dynamic we have in this house where it's like I'm down here, dad's upstairs in the kitchen on his computer, and mom's upstairs on her laptop or watching TV, and that's kind of the life that we live. We say a couple words here and there, and then tell them I love them at night, and that's it. Those are the conversations that we have. And I was like, that's weird. Like same with my brother. Like I don't talk to him for weeks at a time. I see him once a month for wrestling. Like I don't know about him. We don't have conversations. And I was like, that's weird. And it's even it's also weird because like then I go ahead like saying things like, oh, we're a different family. We're not like every other family. We don't talk a lot. It's like, well, why? We could. Nothing's stopping that. And so I want to be the change. I want to be the change. I want to be the person that facilitates that. I want to be the person, at the very least, who facilitates that on an individual basis with the people in my life. And also, ideally, like I said, it'd be cool if like I said, Matt had his own things he has to work through with mom and dad. But it'd be cool if they could work that out and they could be where we're all creating memories, where it's not just me and mom making memory or me and dad making memory. It's me, Matt, and dad making memory. It's me, Matt, and mom making memory, right? That's why us going to Cirque du Soleil, that's awesome because it's all three of us, right? I think that, like I said, I don't think I think the days of me trying to make it so that we're a family and all four of us are doing stuff together and experiencing that together, I think those days are gone. Like I said, that whole notion of a family kind of died on Monday. So I'm not going to worry about trying to make it so that my parents are happy together. I don't think either of them can be fixed to a point where they are happy together. And to be honest, I don't know if they want to be together. I think they really just stay together because they don't know anything else. And it's just comfortable. And maybe they're doing it for us. I don't know. But I'm not going to worry about that anymore. I'm going to worry about... Because if there's one thing I do know is that they might not like each other, but I know that they love us. So why don't I focus on what is working? And that is our relationships. So, yeah. That's the big topic for today. And it's one that's very, very important to me. And I guess I thought I was done, but no. Let's ask myself that question. So I was thinking about it yesterday. I was thinking, Mike, are you happy? Right now, I don't know. I don't know if I'm happy. And I can't separate... I'm having a hard time separating the bummed out feeling I have right now from just life in general. Therefore, I don't know if I'm happy or not. I think I'm not happy. I can't tell you why. I can't tell you why. I just feel like, I don't know. And again, it could just be this recency bias where, I'm bummed out with this thing and therefore it's affecting my mood, therefore it's affecting my brain, therefore I'm thinking I'm not happy. Maybe I am happy. I just feel like, it's not like I don't feel like super sad or super depressed, but I feel like if it was on a scale, right, I would be neutral. Or maybe like a negative, if it was at a 10, 10, 0, negative 10, I feel like it'd be like maybe like 1, 0, negative 1, 2, something like that. So I don't know. But like, I don't know for sure, and therefore it's hard for me to answer that question. I don't know. Like I thought about it all last night. I really don't know if I'm happy. But then, okay, let's go back in time. 10 years now, 9, almost 10. If you went back in time to when you were 16 years old, would you be happy? And that answer is yes and no. I think that if that was possible, if I could go back in time and tell or show Mike at 16 this life. Knowing myself, I think he'd be like, yeah, that's pretty cool. You still play games, you still make YouTube videos, the acne cleared up, your hair, you found a style, even though it's not really working for you still. You seem to be a little bit more comfortable in your skin, a little bit more outgoing. It's weird that the acting thing or broadcasting thing didn't work out for you, but I mean, IT is cool. You like computers, that's cool. I think there'd be a lot of things to be happy about. Overall, I think, if you asked him, he'd be like, yeah, that's a pretty sick life. Sure, why not? But I can't do that. What I can do, though, is I can go back in time in my own head and think about 16-year-old Mike and how he would think about all this. But when I do that, I put my current brain, my 25, almost 26-year-old brain, in 16-year-old Mike's head. So now I'm thinking from that 10-year span, all that experience of life I have is now being applied to 16-year-old Mike, who never had that experience. And when I think about it, the answer is no, I wouldn't be happy. I think that I'm at the same place I was when I was 16. I feel like I'm still figuring out my life, which I'm not saying is a bad thing. I think a lot of people still do that at this age, and I don't think it's something I need to rush. But it'd be nice if I had a little bit more direction. The IT thing is a direction, I guess, but it's not really something that I'm, or I'm like, yes, absolutely, this is the thing. I finally found my thing. It'd be nice if I could find my thing. It'd be nice if, it would be nice if I had more to life, I spent all my days in this basement since I was 16, pretty much. And I'm happy with those days. Like, those days were fun. But at the same time, it's like, could I have been doing something else? Could I have had other experiences, other moments? Maybe. But I didn't, and I'll never know. So, I think for that reason, just because my life is so similar to where it was at 16, it's hard for me to say, yeah, I'd be happy, because literally nothing changed. And because, nothing changing a 10-year span in your life, well, I guess nothing is an overstatement. I think large pieces of my life never changed. I think I, as a person, am a better person than I was when I was 16. I like a lot of things, like I said, I like a lot of things about myself now, but I think just in terms of my life in general, I feel like I'm kind of in the same spot I was when I was 16. And so I'm thinking now ahead in the future. I do that thing where I think about the head in the future. And I think 36-year-old Mike, or 35-year-old Mike, who is a month and 9 days or whatever away from his birthday. Maybe you're watching this right now, Mike. I don't know. Are you happy? And if you went back in time to when you were 16, or you went back in time to this day, right now, this very second when I'm making this video, would you be happy with the life you have? And I think if I'm 36 years old and my life looks pretty much identical to the way it looks now, I think that'd be really disappointing. I think that'd be a lot of wasted time. I think by the time I'm 36, I'd like to have... I don't know if I'm going to have a career that I like. I think I'm just someone who doesn't like working. But I want to be in a place where I'm making good money. I want to live on my own. Or have someone in my life that I live with. I want to continue to grow as a person. I want to be... I want to have my anger under control. I want to have, a lot of memories created with Matt, Dad, and Mom. I want to have experiences. Maybe travel the world. Maybe travel some parts of the world. I don't know. Maybe keep it local. I don't know. I want to have more experiences, more memories. I want to be able to say that things have changed. Essentially, I want to. It's hard. I don't know. It's really hard for me to think about in what ways right now. But if in 10 years' time I'm making this video again, and things are looking the exact same, I hope that and again I'm gonna just talk to you, Mike, right now. I'm assuming you're watching right now. If you're 36 years old right now and your life is the exact same, no, you would not be happy. Okay? Change something. Do something. Because right now, if your life is the exact same and you're 36 years old, you're going down the path that Mom went down, except you don't have anyone else to blame. You don't have someone to point at and be like, oh, that person affected my life for the last 10 years and made it so that I couldn't do this, this, and this, and made it so that the dream I had didn't come true. You only have yourself to blame. So if your life is the same, and I'm talking to myself now, I guess, too. If your life is the same when you're 36 years old, today, you need to start doing something different. Because you are wasting your life. I think I think right now I'm giving you some sort of direction, some sort of chances. I don't know what I'm giving you, but I think I'm giving you an opportunity to make it so that when you're making this video in 10 years, you can say, yeah, dude, things aren't the same. Maybe I'm still not happy with the life I have. That's okay. I'll take that. As long as you can say, things are different. Things changed. So, that's the video. That's all I had to say. 43 minutes. It's like a goddamn podcast. I have more things to talk about, but I will save that for another video. Yeah. I was thinking now if I missed anything. I don't think I did. So I'm gonna go do dishes. Gonna study. Leafs game tonight. Game 4. Leafs leading 2-1. And I'll talk to you maybe tomorrow. Alright, see ya.